Hello.
Good to be with you again.
Yes, it's a daily reflection from the YouVersion Bible app. And today from Matthew 6:25.
Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Probably a good word for COVID-19 restrictions, with a whole lot of shops closed down, where you can't necessarily buy what you'd like. And
you can wear sloppy clothes all day and it doesn't really matter.
You think, oh, it doesn't, actually my clothes don't make me. I am someone else other than my clothes.
Yeah.
Although that doesn't mean to say there's not worry about for people. And it's really an important verse, isn't it? Again, for us to be reminded. I think Jesus makes this point a number of times, that the world is sustained by God. And so therefore we can easily worry about a whole lot of things.
Stuff.
And yet God sustains the world. Yeah, there is reason to fear, like things can go wrong with the world.
Have gone wrong with the world.
There are disasters do happen. Weather is something that we can't control. And yet Jesus is saying, in the midst of all that, God is the one who sustains the world. So I'm encouraging you, don't worry about those things. That's not easy to do. No, it's not easy.
Well, and he's saying, is not life more than food? Well, don't we have life because we get to eat food? Yeah. So it's an interesting, actually, conundrum.
Well, I think what he's saying is those things are part of life. Food, clothes, thankfully. No one wants to see me naked. But life is more than that. And so easily we can get caught up in those things rather than them being just something that we need. They're tools that we need to enable us to live, resources we need that enable us to live. But I would say, I can still wake up in the mornings. I think I have the last couple of days in some shape or form woken up with a sense of a level of anxiety about all the things that need to be done, things that not quite right with our house and we need to spend money on, things within the context of our church and my work and what we need to do in this moment and how we're going to ramp up again. There's lots of good things and important things that give great cause to worry. And I've got to exercise.
It's discipline, isn't it?
It is discipline.
And commitment and a will. You've got to choose not to worry and let that drop away in some ways. It's also part of what Jesus talks about in terms of allowing him to carry that weight with you when he describes the yoke of, two oxen walking together, and he would carry some of that weight. So that's part of it as well, isn't it? It's not that you don't care anymore. It's that you are actively choosing not to let these things consume you.
And even if you find one day you didn't worry about anything, it can still sneak up on you. And even after years of practicing, endeavouring to trust God with your life, us raising 5 kids, at times living on much less than what people would expect us to, when we had to close our company and we owed money, a lot of money. There were lots of times where we had to exercise great discipline, and I'm not sure we always succeeded in not worrying about how life was going to pan out, how God was going to meet our needs.
So really it was a day-by-day decision and commitment, and waking up in the morning going, it feels shocking, but I'm trusting you, Jesus, to get me through this day, to get us through this day, or to have enough money for shoes and all those detail-y things which God knows about, but sometimes it feels a bit despairing.
It does, and it's hard for people who live on the poverty line or people in other countries who actually don't have enough. And part of it is we live in a world where people don't share well. Some people have got billions of dollars and some people have got nothing, and that's not right. And so we want to cry out to God and say, God, please do something about it. And that doing something about it for me starts by me choosing to trust God that he's looking after me. And trust that might be helpful for you in whatever you're facing at this particular point in time in your lives. And you too.
Yeah, that's right.
And our family. Yeah.
It's a continuing commitment day by day.
Yeah.
Bless you as you go today.
Yeah. Bye.